Hey tea heads, this is Don from Mei Leaf. First and foremost, happy festivities to each and all if you're watching around the time of releasing this video. This video is coming out on Christmas Eve. If you're watching it at a different time, then celebrate anyway with a good session of tea. Around this time of year, I like to get the crew members at the Mei Leaf Tea House involved in some tea challenges, and this year is no different. Last week, I went to the tea house and 4 of our team members bravely stepped up to take on the challenge. This challenge comprises 5 rounds. In each round, I will be presenting the team with 2 teas that they have never tasted before. So they're not Mei Leaf teas, they're pretty much samples that I've been sent. So they have no reference point. They've never tasted these teas before. And they have to taste the 2 teas. Obviously, they're going to be trying to work out the type and they're going to be talking about them, but ultimately, they've got to figure out which one is the most expensive tea. Not their favorite tea, not the tea that they prefer, because sometimes those aren't the same things, but the most expensive tea. Which tea would the market price higher? So these challenges, I tell you, were very, very difficult. This year, I made them particularly difficult. But I gave them some incentives. They each get a frog teapot for taking part. And if they manage to get 3 correct out of 5, then they get £30 to spend as Mei Leaf credit. If they get 4, they get £60. And if they get 5, then they get £90. So some incentive, but they were raring to go. So let's meet the players. First up, we have George. George is a very experienced member of the Mei Leaf team and a passionate tea head, loves his HR and his white tea. Next, we have Adrian. Adrian is from Romania. He moved to London with the hope of coming to Mei Leaf and working for us, and he managed to convince us to hire him. And he's, again, extremely passionate tea head, loves particularly his raw puerh. Collectively, George and Adrian are known as the boys, and that's what they're called at the tea house. And they're good friends, but also quite competitive, which adds a little spice to this game. Next up is Sam, a relative newbie. He hasn't been working for us for too long, but again, extremely passionate, was a client of ours, came lots, drank lots of tea, and again, managed to get behind the bar. Very passionate about learning about tea and coming up with amazing tasting notes. And finally, we have Judith. Judith is our most experienced team member, but she mostly works for our clinic, Acumedic Clinic, which is a sister business to Mei Leaf Tea House. But she has spent a lot of time behind the bar working at Mei Leaf, and she has a lot of experience, and she's a herbalist by trade, very studious. And as you will see, she took this game very seriously. In fact, they all did. They were very serious about this. This is a point of pride for all of them. So we're going to head over to Camden and we're going to go through each round. After each round, I will come back here and we'll be talking about the 2 different teas so that I'll give you some explanation as to what I think about the 2 different teas. But I wanted for you to go in blind so that you could play along as well. I know you're not tasting, but you can make some guesses as well. And hopefully you can get some right answers. All right, let's head over for round 1.
Okay, here we go.
I'm ready.
There you go, George.
So this is a HR, right? So this looks aged because it's clump, so it's probably pressed into a cake. So I'm just gonna...
If you give me like broke up leaf like this and chunky like this, I'll just say from this one, like this is gonna be the one that's more expensive.
Just by looking at it, I would say this might be more expensive. A might be more expensive, but...
I mean, this is Fucha. It's got to be. It's got the golden flowers. I don't know what to think of this one. I'm guessing they're both fermented teas.
This looks like a Souchong Lecker or some kind of black tea, but this, I've never seen anything like that. It looks like those teas with the yellow fungus. Let's have a smell.
Aged puerh. I think it's an aged puerh.
It's got these like meaty sort of savoury notes to it, like almost a bit like curry. Like a bit like gravy. Coming up to Christmas, that's probably appropriate.
Oh. It's like sticky bread. It smells different to other Fucha that I've tasted before.
Wow, that's funky. What is? I've never smelled anything like this. It's quite perfumey. A bit of fresh peach. I'm getting.
Oh, this is a really okay. I'm not sure anymore because the smell on that one, it has that aged Liu Bao taste smell to it, and it's just it's like retro in retro in a Gaiwan.
Reminds me of Liu Bao. Like, there's a specific note that I always call it water chestnut, but I don't even know if that's a thing.
Oh wow. Smells very earthy. Definitely a ripe puerh. Some chocolate notes to it. Or pear.
But this one is an old antique woods, antique like a library, like an old library. Wow.
Rinse.
Right, okay. So wet leaves. Oh, it's gone from curry and gravy to sort of sweet. Smells like nugberry a little bit. So it's got those like fruity, cherry notes.
This smells really good. Super brioche. Or like pain au chocolat. A little bit of chocolate, a little bit of bread.
This is so nice, beautiful, chocolatey.
Oh my god. Barbecue. Zesty. Oh wow. That's amazing. Orange peel, for sure. Orange peel on charcoal. It's quite Christmassy, actually. Gin, some alcoholic notes in there.
And this is just so, I don't want to say dusty, but you know what I mean, those attic notes to it, so attic-y, so retro feel, like it's like agedness in a cup.
Wet leaves. Getting some cherry or leather.
Oh, this. It's like Liu Bao. The antique is like an old, not completely wet forest, but more like a bit just sand, like old soil in a forest.
This smells great, but it's very broken. My first thoughts are this is going to be more expensive.
Because I've never smelt anything like that, I'm guessing that could be the more expensive one. But I don't want to let the smell override my judgment.
So first look, I just thought, it's definitely A is the winner, but now I've changed my mind. I think it's B.
This looks like it can be brewed longer because it's clumped together. And this one brewed shorter because it's loose. I'm actually really looking forward to drinking that. B. And this, I just want to overbrew it. It looks like I want to overbrew it. It's got like golden liquor, as opposed to this one's got more like a dark, sort of Americano kind of liquor, like a coffee.
Wow, look at that. Look at that color. That has to be the more expensive. B. Don't even have to drink it.
Oh, bold. Bold. Go without drinking.
This is like beautiful. Beautiful smell as well. Oh my God, this is difficult.
Cheers. Oh. It has a little bit of a smoky note. But dark, bready, A little bit cocoa-y.
Cheers, everyone. That's amazing. It tastes, the texture is, I'd say, medium. Medium to thick. There's also a sour note at the end.
It is beautiful. It is beautiful. Chocolatey and dare I say marzipan chocolate.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's sweet. They're both good quality. I would purchase both of them.
This one tastes so good. But is that just because I like that tea?
But it's got these little golden specks in it. And I don't know why it just reminds me of osmanthus flowers, the high notes of this being really floral and sweet. It just reminds me of osmanthus flowers. Oh, it's so sweet. And it's just the first infusion. But I don't want to get absolutely hammered just yet, so I'm just gonna
It tastes good. I'm so thrown off. It doesn't taste, even though it's really broken, it doesn't taste like rough. It tastes clean. It tastes good.
Thick. Bitter. Maybe I did overbrew this. It's quite bitter. I prefer this one, at least for now.
So B, darker, thick, rich. It's delicious, this one. Okay, they're both amazing. Both quality. This seems older.
Wow. This is beautiful. This tastes like a liu bao. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Tastes like we did had liu bao from the 80s and the 70s, and this has that retro taste to it.
Maybe because I overbrewed it, it's quite bitter. It's not for me. I like a tea that can withstand being overbrewed, especially a white puerh.
I feel like this tea, B, is a kind of tea that I wouldn't serve it to someone who's not going to appreciate this kind of vibe, because I would be very offended.
I think I'm steering towards this one being more expensive. But I know this one's not normally too expensive.
I think I've already made my decision that A is probably cheaper and B is probably more expensive.
But let me think of knowledge. Is liu bao, if this is liu bao, is it more expensive than a puerh?
I hope this one's the more expensive one. So unique. At least I've never had anything like this one.
This is a hard first round, Don.
It's the easiest.
No, don't tell me this. Channel, inner Don, channel. This is so hard. If this is going to be the easiest level.
I've made my decision already, and I might be wrong, but if I'm wrong, and if A is more expensive than B, that's not because there must be something wrong. So I'm not saying I'm wrong. It's not gonna be. I'm not gonna feel any shame if I'm wrong.
I think I'm just going to go with my gut and say that A is the more expensive. I think.
I'm gonna go with tea number B. I just think it's aged, more aged.
Okay, I'm gonna make my guess
Okay.
already. I'm gonna guess this one's more expensive.
Okay, so this is a full brick. It's 0.12 per gram. So just by seeing that, I'm like getting excited. I think I got it right. Because 12 cents a gram is not that expensive. And these ones, are you kidding me? I was right, Liu Bao from the 80s. I did say it has that 80s taste. I did say it has that retro feel to it, and it does. Exactly like my YouTube channel for retro gaming, which is called The Collector, and with Don's permission, there's gonna be a link in the video that will show the link to my retro gaming YouTube channel.
He got his plug-in. Go check out his channel. I'll put a link in the description below.
I did good, didn't I?
Well done. All right, 1 out of 5. Well done.
Fu brick from Hunan. 12 cents a gram is so cheap. No, don't do this to me. Okay. Oh my god, it's 1980s Liu Bao. I knew that was going to happen. Aged. That's why it was so clean.
Okay. It's not that expensive. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, Louis Bao. Okay.
So this is ours. This is ours. Oh, because it looks different, but okay. No, it's. We should sell this. This is amazing. We should buy this. Okay, yeah. So I was right. Yay! Now I'm gonna keep drinking this.
So that was round 1. Congratulations to Adrian and Judith for getting it right. Let's quickly talk about these teas. So you've got a 1980s Liu Bao, very old, tasted extremely old, and so it's got that real antique quality. But the thing that sort of may have thrown some people off is the way that it looks. Because it's old, it's all broken up, it doesn't look particularly pretty, it doesn't particularly look high grade. So sort of instinctively, you don't want to pick something that doesn't look so pretty as your, more expensive tea, but that age really shines through. And we're comparing that with Fu Cha. Now, Fu Cha is a really delicious tea type, comes in these big bricks, and has, as most of them said, these golden flower spores. So it has a very particular look and a very particular taste. The reason why it's cheap is that it's quite factory made. It's made in very, very large quantities, kilo bricks. A lot of people ask us to source Fu Cha, and we will probably source some Fu Cha at some point. My issue with Fu Cha is that most Fu Chas pretty much taste the same. Not bad taste, they taste good, as Sam can attest. If the first time you try Fu Cha, it's very sort of like, it's a very unusual experience, and that's why I understand, him thinking that it was more expensive, because it has a very unique taste. For me though, they all taste very, very similar. They come in these big 1 kilo bricks, which I think is not a great format for people. It's a lot of tea, and they have a certain roughness about them. So we're continuing to look for, a little bit more, possibly, fine-tuned, slightly smaller batch Fu Cha for our collection. But that's the reason why it's cheap. They're both good teas. This one, obviously, it's the age, and also Liu Bao is always going to be more expensive than Fu Cha. All right. Let's move on to round 2.
There you go. Okay. White tea.
White tea.
Okay. Wow. Right. So they look very similar.
They're both quite grey, and usually I associate grey white teas with being quite pricey for some reason.
Okay, first impression is this one is... So A is a little bit lighter greens. This one looks a bit more darker, a bit more autumny colours, but it could be a bit more aged.
It's always a bad feeling, crushing the leaf.
Getting that.
I'm getting raisins from this one.
Deep.
sweet, fruity, apricot. Yeah, like a sweet, like a strawberry cordial.
Wow. Really funky, this one.
Oh, this smells amazing.
This one definitely gives off Moonlight White vibes. A bit sweeter.
It's more like sort of honey.
Oh, wow, it's B. From smell, it's B directly. I don't even have to do it.
You're gonna go blind.
I'm gonna go blind. Wow. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is like... this is exactly like those East European sponge cakes that I was talking about. Like I was talking about those... we just do this like nice souffle sponge cakes that have different types of fruit. You can do it with different types of fruit, but we like to do it with sour cherries. Beautiful. On the other hand, this is more like spicy. Has a little bit like a spicy note to it. I don't know what it is.
It smells like weed.
Is that a good thing?
It's just a good thing.
Wow.
This could be a fancy Baimudan. It does look greener. These leaves, now that they're hydrating, look a bit more munched, but that could just be because it's like older. I've got inner turmoil happening right now. It's not from Yunnan. It's like a normal Fujian. I feel like anything from Yunnan is going to be more pricey. But maybe not, because it's white tea. Ah, chaos.
Actually, the same colour, pretty much.
The obvious choice would be this. By everything, color, like this is like really nice dark color. This is like a little bit more watery.
I didn't breathe strong enough.
Nice, pure, clean. A little bit of depth and body to it as well. Nice. Astringency. Ooh, has a little bit of astringency. Has a little bit of mouth physicality. And I know that if a tea is physical, then it could be expensive. It does have those like sweet lychee notes to it, you know, just like barely there, barely like beautiful guava, lychee, those like yellow fruits. And taste the same, like not that strong. It's beautiful, it's clean.
They taste very similar, I think. Okay, this one has more character to it. This is an impossible game because this is impossible.
Has body, has more physicality than this one. For as it stands now, it's B.
This is so difficult. I can't believe this. All of my confidence is just gone.
No, trust your instinct.
Where are you?
That one's got more buds. This one hardly has any buds. I'm not that happy with B. I'm not as happy with B as I am with A overall. Liquor is a bit emptier. This one is more rounded, more like sweeter, like honey-like.
Wow. The tricky part about this is that not the best tasting tea is not always the most expensive tea. That's the annoying part. If it was by smell, taste, then it would be like, yeah, I will go for this one. But that's not always the case, isn't it?
This one, I think, is more drying than this one. This one, I feel like it lasts a bit longer.
Wow. It has to be B.
Yeah. I think A is more expensive than B.
I'm gonna say, in my opinion, this A should be more expensive. It's fresher, it's fruitier, it's more fragrant, it's got more buds in it. The leaves look slightly greener, look better. And I like it better, it's just nicer.
Now I'm going to say this one's more expensive. No, I'm going to stick with this one. I'm going to say A is more expensive.
Let's
C, 0.36. Okay. Please be less. This one, A, 0.17.
Yeah! Well done, Sam. You stuck to your instincts.
Both
Okay, so that's...
both show me.
They both show me, but one's from Fujian and one's from Yunnan, so it's the province that's the difference.
Right, okay.
Hanshi Shomei. It's a Shomei. It's got a lot of buds. From Fujian, 36 cents a gram. I don't know if that's expensive or that's quite cheap for Shomei, but then Shomei's quite cheap. Yes! Linsang Shomei. Oh, from Yunnan. Okay, so it's Mulai White. It's not Mulai White, but it's from Yunnan. I'm basically dumb.
Okay, this is a Pangxi Shomei from Fujian, 036. I think that's a little bit more expensive than your like just average. Yeah, it's a little bit more expensive than your average Shomei. I didn't think about it. I said buy done, so. And T number B is no. Again, showing from Yunnan, 017. Lost this one. That's why I like, yes, messed up. That's why I like this one. It has more body, has more grip to it. It has that Yunnan feel to it, obviously, but Fujian is the daddy of white tea, so that's it. This is the better tea. This is the better tea. Like, a tea like this doesn't smell like that. A tea that smells like this can't be more cheaper than a tea that smells like and tastes like that. Like, just because it's from Fujian, it's more expensive. Literally, that's the thing here. This was a cheeky f***er.
Okay, open up.
A is more expensive, hopefully. Pangxi Shomei. It's not that expensive. 0.36 cents. 36 cents per gram. Oh yeah, I was right. And this one's 17 cents per gram. So I was right. Yeah, A is more expensive. Yeah, I mean the taste buds don't lie.
So that was round 2, a very difficult round. Congratulations to George, Sam and Judith for getting it right. So this is an example of the difference that province makes to the price of tea. You have Fujian versus Yunnan, and Fujian is the birthplace of white tea. And because of its heritage, it's always going to command a higher average price than the relative newcomer of Yunnan white teas. But I understand why Adrian picked the Yunnan white tea. As he said, he likes Yunnan teas, that's his passion, and so he's going for that body and that richness and that fragrance that comes from Yunnan. But he should have figured out that, you know, the prized white teas from Fujian are prized for elegance, for delicacy, for lightness and smoothness. And so ironically, the fact that it was lighter makes it more expensive, because immediately sort of pinpoints, this is from the sort of the heritage birthplace of white teas. Anyway, a very, very difficult round. Let's move on to round 3.
They look exactly the same, yay!
They look pretty similar. These may be smaller leaves. These have some green notes to them, some copper notes. These brown, mostly black.
It looks like it could be rock oolong or rock oolong over dansong maybe. Smells like rock oolong. This one looks nicer leaves. It's got some light colours in there.
By smell, I'm gonna go with tea number B.
It smells good. Resiny, varnishy.
Jeez, that's so good. Oh, caramel, campfire, oak, honey, manuka honey.
Oh my god! This is Lost Road. Like, Lost Road-esque. Yeah, butterscotch. Vanilla, anything that's on that sort of creamy.
Nice. By smell, it's gonna be tea number A now. Beautiful chocolate, everything. Cacao and milk chocolate, not just any chocolate, just beautiful milk chocolate.
Oh, this has more cinnamony notes.
Okay, very different. That smells like overcooked apples. Wow. Banana cake. This is banana cake for sure.
So, wet leaves. Yeah. This is why I love rock oolongs. Fruity, jammy.
Super fragrant. Like cooked apples and some really like clean, like a fruity soap.
And this is perfumey. It goes into that perfumey, which is nice because I think if a rock oolong gives you that perfumey, that perfume that usually you get from dansongs, right? It's one of those teas that's a really beautiful mixture between rock oolong and dansong, and when those two collide, we get stuff like the beautiful orchard stream, which is my favorite of the rock oolongs.
Deeper, more red fruits and cinnamon.
Wow. Now it's more banana skin, so
Darker color, more. You can't go by the color. Can't go by anything these days. Like, do I go for the obvious choice, which is this one I did earlier and I messed up? Yeah, like this would be the clear. This would be the clear one. Should I just go with the opposite? Because like last time it was the clear one, I should have went to the opposite. Is that what George did? He just went with the opposite of what he actually thought is the best tea just because he overthinked it. Ah! Okay.
let's have a taste. Okay, I prefer the smell. Too soapy for me. Bitter soap. I really hope that's not the expensive one. That's really soapy. That is not my type of rock oolong. I've been drinking a lot of Orchid Stream recently. That is just so smooth. But that, not for me.
This still has that perfumey. Like, it's really nice. It's perfumey, but not too much. It still has what makes rock oolong. It has that astringency, that rockiness, that minerality. But also milky. Nice. It has a nice oat milk, almond milk, like one of those nuts. So not dairy. Smooth.
Quite thick.
It's got that strong like a wooden barrel.
Honestly, if anyone is confident in this round, I'll be very impressed.
Give it to me. Give me the answer.
I'm gonna mess this one up.
Ooh. This has a crazy sweet. This has a crazy sweet strike to it after sweetness. Oh, I'm lost. I'm lost for words. I have no idea. I'll have to guess it. Do I go with the beginning thoughts, which is smell and everything else? Or do I go with this piercing sweetness on the side of my tongue? So it's just like, so sweet.
Lighter, fragrant, deeper, balanced, rockier.
I prefer this one. I like this one. The dry leaves, I loved it. Butterscotch, like Lost Robe. Creamier, sweet. This one is was more like the fruitier, but a bit less, a bit dulled. But it's got like pancake batter aftertaste, which is nice. You know when you're making pancake batter and you use sparkling water like we do in Hungary, and you taste it a little bit. But am I gonna drink a tea just because it leaves my mouth with a fizzy pancake batter taste? I'm not sure.
This definitely, so it's weird, like by taste, I'm just gonna go with the number B. By smell and everything else, I would go with the number A. Wow, this is a piercing sweetness. Yeah, I thought I was having it wrong, but no. Okay, I'm gonna say T number B.
All right, I'm gonna go. This one's more expensive. A is more expensive.
Maybe this one's more vaporous. Maybe. I think the taste stays at the back of the tongue with this one. So I'm going to guess this one's more expensive. Letter B.
I hate this. I'm going to go with B, being the pricier tea.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know!
Open up. Start with A.
Start with A. Please. Sparrow's tongue, Yencha, 24 cents a gram. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yes! £1.38. Sparrow's tongue, it's the same tea.
It's from Zhengyan.
From Zhengyan.
From the real proper area.
That's from the good place. Damn. Okay.
2 out of 3.
That was so close. That was honestly so close.
Okay. Sparrow's tongue. I like that name. Okay, good. 1.38.
1.38.
Good,
Well
good.
done, Sam.
Stress. Go on.
2 out of 3.
Oh my god, this is expensive. It's too expensive for what it is. Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. One down. I would buy this one. I had a feeling because it's got those like rich person, like a bit fruity, a bit. But this one is like a cute butterscotchy, you know, what your mate would drink, you know.
Sparrow's tongue, Yencha, 24 cents a gram. Yes! 138! Congratulations! So if I would have gone with everything I know about tea, I would have been wrong. Just because this had everything. Smell, taste. But this one had aftertaste.
Round 3, probably the most difficult round in my opinion. Very, very challenging round. So now we're talking about the difference between a particular area within the same province. So round 2 was comparing 2 different provinces, Fujian and Yunnan. In round 3, we're comparing 2 teas from the same cultivar, from the same province, but just different areas within that province. So one coming from Zhengyan, which is the sort of heartland, the main protected area for Wui Yanchas, and one from outside of Zhengyan. And it's very, very difficult. As I said, I really congratulate those who got it right, because it's very, very difficult. The key difference is that rock rhyme, that particular sensation and finish after you've swallowed. And that Yen Yun, if you want to watch a video about Yen Yun, I'll stick a link in the description below so you can learn more about it. I don't think that it presents itself as a sort of mineral, catchy sort of roughness. Some people talk about it like a bone in the throat. I don't, for me, it's not that. For me, the rock rhyme is, yes, minerality, but all yanchas will have minerality in varying degrees. But it's about a vapor that rises. It's a vaporous, it creates like a cloud in your mouth of aromatics. And so whilst the tea, I think it was TA, had more fragrance, more bright, high, light aromas compared with TB. TB was much more vaporous. The one from Zhengyan, the more expensive one, was much more vaporous. And that was my hope, that they would pick up that difference in finish, the vaporous versus the less vaporous. And again, you know, the key challenge here is they may prefer the bright, very light aromatics of the tea that's not from Zhengyan, but they've got to focus on that finish. That's the key marker for teas in general, but particularly yanchas. Okay, moving on to round 4.
Ta-da! Puerh time. Ooh. Ready. This one smells really good.
They look too similar.
Right, this one's got some buds. And this doesn't seem to have that many buds.
Puerh is my favorite type of tea, so that's why I think I'll get it wrong. Because I just love it so much, especially if it's a little bit aged.
Aged, for sure. It smells really good. It reminds me of Straight Face Playmate.
This one, again, this has a smokiness to it. It's very subtle there. And a bit of poached pears.
Oh, what a lovely smell. It reminds me of my old school books. When I was little, and they were not old, they were new. But it reminds me of that sort of, you know, the glue that holds the school books together.
Burnt sugar, like aged honey, if that's a thing, like Manuka honey.
Oh no. That has a lot of fruitiness. Doesn't smell as medicinal, but it's still aged. Jammy. Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Oh wow. Wow, this is close to like Luminary Misfit. It's very fruity. Wow. cherry jam or raspberry jam.
This one has beautiful fruit notes to it.
Ooh, this one's funky. Okay, I'm gonna say something really stupid, ridiculous, like your lover's breath. You know, it's like the funky, but it's nice.
Best tasting of the year.
Yeah.
A gives me more aged. So if I learn something from puerh, if it's more aged, it should be more expensive.
Okay, this smells aged. Wow. It's got some notes that remind me of a ripe puerh, like an old book.
And A is holding the school vibe, the fresh books and that freshness. It's potentially not as old as the B.
Oh my god, this is not going to be easy. I think they're both aged. This one has a lot more jam though.
This smells like, it definitely smells prior to 2010. And this one smells past 2010.
Yeah, B went from a creamy, funky to an apple, stewed apples.
B definitely smells much more jammy. It smells really good. But then A smells medicinal and aged.
I see what's going on here. This is the cheeky one. Because it's beautiful, it's nice, it's fruity, but that also shows that it's younger. So I will go with number 8. Well, not it. Color of the liquor will say the same thing. It's a little bit more dark, so it has to be a little bit more aged.
Oh, yes. I don't like when a raw puerh, when I find a raw puerh is like very offensive and like strong because I just can't tell the taste. But this one is crisp.
It is delicious. Fresh tobacco, a lot more medicinal, like cherry lozenges.
This actually tastes, it has notes similar to the first one, the fungusy one. Like a tobacco, aged tobacco.
Guide me. Ooh, yes, I was right. Beautiful, nice, burnt sugar, tobacco-y as well. Nice, but clean.
Okay, this tastes less aged, a lot more fruity. Jeez, this is tricky. This one, poached pears, apricots.
Clean, jammy.
Okay, B is herbaceous, like gentian, like those bitter herbs, those like medicinal herbs.
Guide me. I'm lost.
This is hard. You don't think it's going to be as hard as it is, but then when you get them blind, completely blind, it's really difficult.
Smaller leaves, more buds, greener, fresher, appley. Bigger leaves, not as many buds, darker. Look at that leaf. Jeez. I'm going to be disgusting here, but look at that. Oh, the problem is if I say that's more expensive because I like it, and that's more expensive, I'm going to kick myself because I think this is more expensive. Look at that leaf, it's huge.
The caffeine is only adding to my chaos in my mind.
Keep with what you know. Age in a puerh is more expensive. It doesn't matter that this smells freaking amazing.
Okay, I'm gonna guess that one's more expensive.
Why?
Because it tastes more aged.
I feel like these flavours are more common than these. Yeah. I think I've made my decision.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go for it. I think the B is the more expensive.
Now is this one. Is this one because this gives me zero bitterness in aftertaste. And this gives me bitterness. Bitterness, as we know, goes down with age. And I'm still gonna say the same thing. If it's more aged, less bitterness, more of those cleanness, it's matured into a beautiful, beautiful child. And this has some growing up to do.
Okay, B is more expensive.
Let's see. Okay. Gushu, 2009 Gushu, 1.29. That's a good sign. I'm hoping that can't be more expensive. Can't be. This one, okay, 2008, 0.15.
129! Woo! Wait, what is it? I didn't. So, Bulang. All right. Yeah. Yeah.
2009.
Oh, 2009. So, oh my God. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I did say prior to 2010. And I said this is post. And this is just 50p. And it's still a Bulang in 2008. Okay. I'm wrong. I know nothing about tea. I might know nothing about tea. Like this was definitely
Plantation. Gushu.
show me.
Plantation.
Ah, okay. All right. So that's why this has astringency, even though it's from 2008. I can't believe this. Like, oh my God, this is actually a mind-opening situation right now. So just because this is plantation, it can still be that old, but still have the same. Do you know what? This is not 2008. Like I wouldn't say this is a 2008. Like I definitely was like 2013, 14, 15. Prior, after that. Damn, man.
This is a plantation, okay? 15 cents. You see, I need more knowledge. I need more experience. I need to drink more raw puerh. This is the lesson learned, okay?
No, the lesson here is you outthought yourself.
Yeah, I actually prefer this. This is delicious. This one's like, it's rough. It's strong. That means, you know.
You think you burly men drinking puerh.
Please. Please, this is going to be so bad. Oh no, Bulangsheng from 2009. Gushu, $1.29. Please. That's quite pricey. Bulangsheng from 2008. 15 cents a gram! Oh my God. I'll just leave now, shall I?
I know that round 4 really hurt George because he's a lover of raw puerh, and so for him to get this one wrong really, really, bruised him, especially because Adrian got it right. So I'm sure there's a conversation that has been happening between them about that. But let me sort of try to explain why George got it wrong, because this was a tricky one. So we have the two cakes here. Gushu 2009 Bulang. Plantation 2008 Boulang. So this one's actually a year more aged than this one. You can see it does look a bit darker than this one, but pretty much the same age. So still an old tea. And the key difference here, again, similar to the Yencha, is that the younger tea, the plantation tea, had a very, very fruity aroma, has a very, very fruity aroma. It's very, very impactful up front on the nose. But as you brew into it, its youth shows through. It starts to, as Adrian said, it starts to show that it's got some growing up to do, but not in terms of age. What he really, I think, was tasting was it has growing up to do in terms of age of tea tree, because this one is a gushu and this one is plantation. So young trees, older trees. And to be fair to George, if we had allowed him to brew more, because I only said you can have 2 brews of each tea, because otherwise it would be taking ages. I am sure, 100% sure, that after 3rd or 4th brew, he would notice that this was starting to get really, really bitter and really, really rough and didn't have the longevity and the smoothness and the sort of length and sweetness that the gushu did. Also, I would say that, you know, he said that that this one is more unusual than this one. Well, that just goes to show he's been drinking very, very good stuff. So he was sort of noticing aromatics that he wasn't used to in raw puerh, and that's pretty much because he's been drinking gushu puerh all the time. So there was a sort of novelty factor, I think, that sort of played on this one as well. But if we'd allowed more infusions, then you really pick it up, because this one, after sort of 2nd, 3rd, 4th infusion, the bitterness starts to come out. Despite its age, the bitterness starts to come out and it becomes dry and rough, whereas the gushu just goes and goes and goes. Final round.
Okay. So first impression, this one reminds me of the Sweet Spice JJM. And I think that's quite pricey. There's some grey notes to it. Maybe bigger leaves than this one. This has more golden buds.
Okay, looks aren't everything with this tea. I know that. This one looks really good. This one looks a bit wilder, a bit bigger.
A looks beautiful. It's got these beautiful golden, furry, hairy sort of little buds in it. Beautiful. B is not as attractive. Larger leaves. Still quite furry, not as golden, but yeah, larger leaves, and it's got a bit of something in it. Oh, it's even got a twig in it. If I paid a lot of money for it, would I be happy with that in my tea? I'm not sure.
A is the better tea. A is the more expensive tea. But are you being cheeky? Ooh, but smell-wise, B has you covered. So if you made it not obvious, that would be B. But what if you thought, well, they're gonna think that I will trick them and I will make it so they think, oh yeah, it's definitely B because, oh my God, this is a classic case of literally mind hijacking.
Farmy. Yeah, more fruity, farmy than normal Jin Jun Mei.
Milk chocolate. Malty.
Bread. Oh my God, bread.
Wow. Wow, are you kidding me? That smells amazing. Oh, that smells like our Bailu Gold, strong, like a strong chocolate, dark chocolatey. Beautiful malty, dark chocolatey tea.
Ah, B smells amazing. Wow, B smells fruity, perfumey. floral, like a crazy, like a geranium. Like it literally smells like geranium.
Rosy, a bit more lychee, which is what I kind of know.
I really hope this one's not expensive because I'm getting like a toy shop. It's quite plasticky.
Ooh, and this one smells fruity. Okay, so we have a classic fruity Jin Jun Mei versus malty chocolatey Jin Jun Mei. All right, which means what? Which means what? I have no idea.
Yeah, it doesn't smell like normal. It smells really roasted. Maybe I've just had too much tea now. It has a real farmy smell.
This smells. There's definitely an alcoholic note to this one. Very malty. To me, this one A has more complexity to it.
Wow. Yeah, but with Jin Jun Mei it's difficult because it can be like, there can be an amazing Jin Jun Mei, like our Cocoa Mall Queen, for crazy price.
A has a plum marmalade. Plum marmalade.
Okay, so B smells like socks. But there's also some spice in it. Is that licorice?
Oh. Fragrant, sweeter, Turkish delighty.
Perfumey. This is more perfumey.
It's floral. It's like, it's not even something you would eat. It's so floral. How do they make, how does this happen? Eastern Beauty, Little Tongmu, Muscatel, like that kind of, those floralness to it.
Okay, very different colors. This one's brown. This one's a light golden color.
Ooh, nice. This has a stronger body.
Nice. Yeah, like a cocoa powder.
It's quite fruity for a Jin Jun Mei, actually. Yeah, I'm getting mango, coffee, roasted coffee.
This one has a really dark roasty flavour. And it has a distinct farmy smell. And I don't know if that's because it's really, really cheap or it's really, really expensive.
It's got a manure smell.
It's got the manure smell.
Ooh. Ooh. Oily. First thoughts now is this by taste. Because this is oily. Really nice and thick.
I don't know which one's bluffing.
Which do you prefer?
This one.
Why? What's it taste like?
Fragrant, Turkish delight, rosy. What I want from Jin Jun Mei. It's like fruity, fragrant. It feels like the finish is much longer on this one as well.
Oh wow. Taste of this is very good. It's spicy. It reminds me of the sweet spice JJM. But yeah, it doesn't change as much as this one does.
Ooh, okay. This actually gives me more hope in B. Why? This, can you see that bubble inside of there? There's a bubble. It's foamy.
Double bluff, because this one looks less carefully made. But maybe because they're like, it's so good, so expensive, coming from the best place ever. Some unknown tribe in some far off mountain. £2,000 a gram.
I'd happily take that tea. But this one just has so much going on.
I'm just going to go for it and say, based on looks, Jin Jun Meis tend to be priced on how they look. This one looked better because of the golden buds. It has more sweet, malty notes to it, and that's what a lot of people look for or go to when they buy Jin Jun Mei. So I'm going to go, this one's more expensive.
Now they've cooled down a little bit, I feel like this has more in-your-face taste. But it feels a little bit flatter at the end. I feel like this one's a bit more rounded.
Okay.
I'm going to go with A.
A, more expensive.
Oh, damn it. All of my guts now are screaming, Big A! It's obviously the better choice! But then my thinking is, I have to go other way. I'm just gonna have to go. I'm just gonna have to go with B.
It's not worth it. In my, wow, $5.88. That's the most expensive tea I think I'll ever drink. Jeez. Don't buy it. It's not worth it. This one, okay. Hey. 111.
Yay! Well done, Sam. 4 out of 5. Impressive.
Come on. $5.88 Jin Jun Mei for A. I'm pretty sure. Come on. Come on. Yes! 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 All right.
Alright, you got 3 out of 5. You get your 30 quid.
I'm so happy. That was so difficult. My God.
Not sure, but I think it is. It looks good. That's bloody expensive. $5.88 per gram. This is probably like under a $1. Yeah, $1.11. Okay. I win.
Well done.
I want to buy this. Can I have this one? It's so amazing.
Please, tell me. Oh no! I fucked. Why didn't I go with my God? He didn't trick us. He didn't trick us. It wasn't a trick. No. No, this is really expensive. I missed it. I thought it's gonna be a trick. How come I can't believe I've overthought
You way over.
way more than it should have been. I should have gone with the guts. No!
So the final round was the Battle of the Jin Jun Meis. We taste so many Jin Jun Meis every single year. As you can see, we've used up all of those samples for the filming of those challenges. But we taste so many. And in fact, you don't get much information. You know that they're from Tongmu. You know that they're Jin Jun Mei. But they have wildly different flavors and wildly different price points. Sam said that TA was probably going to be the most expensive tea that he'll ever taste in his life. I'm not sure, but it'll be certainly up there in probably the top 20. And, you know, it is an example of a tea which looks really good. I know I'm pointing at nothing, but you remember. It looks really good. You know, it's got that lovely dark chocolatey look with the little golden tips, very fine picking. And the smell and the aromatics are very full-bodied, in your face. For me, too much. For me, sort of muddled and mixed up. And no doubt about it, George picked it up immediately. It has a very distinct manure taste, which I don't like, and I'm not gonna purchase, and I couldn't get past. So it was a sort of difficult one because it looked really good, but for me the taste is sort of off. Yes, complex, yes, rich, but a bit over the top and muddled. Whereas the second tea, like Sam said, very reminiscent of our Sweet Spice JJM. Doesn't look particularly great, a little bit more greyed in terms of the leaf, larger leaf, but very floral, very sweet with flowers and cinnamon. A delicious, delicious tea. Most people, when I spoke to them afterwards, most of the team members preferred the second one, but everyone figured, apart from Adrian, that the looks of that tea and that richness of aromatics meant that it was the most expensive. I understand why Adrian sort of thought himself through loops, because he was like, am I bluffing? Am I double bluffing? Because obviously the prettier tea seems on face value to be the most expensive. Was I giving him a bluff, which is why he picked the other one? And was I doing a double bluff? In fact, I was doing nothing of the sort. Just follow the guide that the more expensive looking tea is probably going to be the most expensive tea, although our cocoa malt queen is testament that that is not an exhaustive rule, because it is amazing and is incredibly affordable. So congratulations to George, Adrian and Judith. All of you got 3 out of 5, and George and Adrian can sort of like, you know, there's no particular winner in that particular competition. And big congratulations to Sam. Well done. The newbie on the block, but comes in and gets 4 out of 5. So why don't you try this yourself? Blind tasting is so difficult. It's the most challenging thing you can do. Maybe if you're watching over the festive period, you can ask your family members to break out 2 teas which are similar, but at different price points, or maybe you can do it yourself and challenge your friends and family. It's a great game to just sort of fine tune the senses, like experience that the difficulty of blind tasting, and also try to get your head into the whole sort of concept of pricing for tea. I think it's a really, really interesting game, and I hope that you do some of these games yourself at home. That's it from me. All that remains for me to say is Merry Christmas! I hope you're having a lovely, lovely time.
And we're wishing you a very happy new year. Enjoy whatever teas you've got going, and let's see what 2023 brings.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure that you celebrate. If you're watching at the time of this video, then happy Christmas, and mark your diary for the 30th of December, because we're going to be dropping this tea. Sneak peek, this is the Atlas Tapestry, and it's a very small batch. So make sure you mark your diary. But even if you're watching after Christmas, whenever you're watching, celebrate anyway with a cup. Here you go.
Thank you.
Raising our glasses to you. Oh, you've finished. One last sip from each of us. Happy festivities.
Happy festivities. Cheers.
Bye.
Yum.
Cheers. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas to everybody, and have a great Happy New Year's.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy festivities. Happy New Year.